2 games yesterday, which he did a barometer on, you know, their practice regimen into this event or their comfortability with the new maps. But end of the day, they turn up on Saturday and Sunday, so we're going to see a different Splyce roster today, I'm certain.
Yeah, well, the matchup is about to begin. Coliseum, capture the flag. Trifecta looking to get the upset of the tournament if they're able to make this win happen. But saying that it is a tall order will be an understatement. And I hype that up for absolutely no reason, because it is coming back to us. Hey, you know you wanted it. You know you wanted it, so you got it. All right, but in any case, so we should talk about this Splyce roster. I think a lot of folks have kind of just been saying, you know, they haven't really practiced on the new maps.
I just love the fact that he's like the Pelican map. It's just like he doesn't even know the map name for the most part.
It scares me. Well, the Pelican map's not here.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to worry about Pelican map this time. But yeah, I really have no concerns about them playing on something like Refuge. When it comes to Fissure and Echelon, though, it's going to be tough unless they've been playing a significant amount of 2v2s on it, which they should be. They should be doing that nonstop to learn it and get better at it. I wouldn't be surprised if they've done that, but we're going to have to see for ourselves here with our very own eyes as they try to take on Trifecta. So let's kick this one off with Eco.
Well, right now it's very familiar territory here for Splyce, your 2018 Halo World Champions, as we embark on a little trip to Coliseum for some capture the flag fun. And the battle right now taking place over at the sniper rifle, and actually will be Trifecta, who manages to get the better of some of the members of Splyce. That's going to be 3 down right now, and a prime opportunity for Trifecta to start to make some moves. And they have all the power weapons, they have the control, they just need to be smart with it here. Able to come out with that. That was a risky battle there for Ryan Noob. He's able to stay alive.
Yeah, he was backed in the corner and just hits the shots he needs to. Gets the no-scope melee for the snipe punch and still stayed alive. Good shot by Ryan Noob.
Yeah, but while all that was going on, though, they were able to make that flagpole happen, and that is going to be a cap there for Trifecta. And here's the thing, Renegade said in the, or excuse me, Shotzi said it in the interview with Gaskin earlier. He said, you know, they're not a bad team. They're veteran players. We're not going to take them lightly. I just think for a lot of folks, you kind of look at the rosters and you're like, oh, yeah, nah, you kind of got to go with Splyce on this one.
Yeah.
Trifecta's looking to shut us all up.
Yeah, you have to go with Splyce, but at the same time, too, Splyce going in this match, they saw the previous 2 matches, like, all right, well, Elevate 3-0'd them. They got beat by, barely beat earlier as well. So it's just like, most things, it's like, all right, you see Trifecta drop a couple series. What do you really have to fear if you've already beaten those 2 teams? I mean, going by the transitive property in math, it's just like, well, if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, yeah.
I mean, listen, I went to public school in the Bronx, so...
You're like, why are you using letters in math here?
Yeah, that's
what's going on with that?
I could never solve for X. But this, right now, Eco solved for X. Hey, and he was able to put in a cap there. That's going to bring it to 1-1. All knotted up here in the action. And Splyce were able to clap back immediately, get that cap in there as soon as they possibly can. Power weapons are going to be up as well. Rocket launcher in the hands of Renegade as he just flies on over to the snipe side, and right now it's just kind of an even trade here. I'm actually kind of surprised and also just very impressed with how Trifecta are playing. They're showing no fear against Splyce.
Yeah, no fear, and I mean, you have to go with that mentality. Obviously, they are not having the results that they would like to see so far in this pool play part, but at the same time, too, if they're able to rally up a game or 2 against Splyce or somehow take this series, that would be a huge feather in their caps.
Well, that is going to be the second cap there for Trifecta, but now they need to hold back the attack from Splyce as Shotzi and Renegade are having rough shot in the back of their base, and oh, some body shots from Ryan Noob there. Unfortunately for him, though.
I think he's just playing it safe because you can never be too sure with Shotzi. He's just such a scary player. It's like, all right, shoot him a couple times just to make sure he's dead.
Oh, yeah, so it's like double tap.
Yes, exactly. I mean, watching Zombieland for sure. Just got to.
So he's just going to come back from the dead.
It wouldn't surprise you. It's like, oh, I can't believe Ryan, you fell for that one. Typical Shotzi movement.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well. Seems as if Splyce, though, trying to make some moves with the flag once again. Renegade with the sniper in hand, waiting to see if any players are going to push across the sniper. Exactly what's happening, and Renegade trying to go for the cheeky no-scope there, finds it on Shooter. That's going to be locked up at 2. And now the push continues here from Trifecta. They tried, at the very least, to push again, to try to force him in the back of their base. With Splyce, they were able to make those kills happen yet again.
Yeah, but unfortunately now Trifecta are in some poor positions. They're on the spawn, they're under their base, over near elbow, and they don't really seem to have strong positions on the map. This third and final flag is almost back. Eco tosses up, Stellar picks it up and puts it in.
Slam dunk to close out the game, 3-2, but Trifecta, credit to them for being able to keep that matchup a very close one. Still though, it was a quick game nonetheless. Actually, I don't know what it was, Dave, but that match
felt like it was
quick.
about like 5 to 6 minutes-ish.
It felt like that could have been a 3-0, but for some reason there were 5 flags that were captured in that game.
I honestly don't know the time. If I had to just take a random guess, I'd guess something like 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Just throwing that out there.
Really? Really? Oh, wow, Walt.
Oh,
right.
man.
4 minutes and 3 seconds. Who would have known?
Just my lucky day.
It's almost as if you had the post-game Carnage report in front of you.
I would never do such a thing. I would never do such a thing.
Wow. You just, I mean, just the talent that this guy has. You had to have so much talent to just team with strong side for so many years, so it makes a lot of sense. All right, well, welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us here, you have Splyce versus Trifecta. Splyce just taking game number 1 in a 4-minute and 3-second game of Coliseum CTF that saw 5 captures.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, that's insane. Weird. Usually, like, that's a one-sided affair. Like, you hear a 4-minute game, it's like, all right, that team won 3-0, and just we're dominating the whole time. But in fact, just these teams are incredibly objective efficient. Yeah. It was 6 kill differential, because I believe it's 33-27. I saw the Slays in the Prowler there, and 5 caps during that time. So you just saw how quickly these teams are able to get those kills and run flag across the map. That's not so surprising from players such as like Ryan, Noob, and Shooter, who are well known for their objective prowess. But Splyce to just not incredibly dominate the slaying facet, that's the most surprising part to me.
Yeah, indeed. And now we're going to make our way over to game number 2. It's on the Sanctuary remake, Refuge. Or
I love this view.
I love it too. It says Elamite likes to call it Refugee. He likes to add a little bit of that fancy, enunciation onto that one. But our only 2 sniper map in the entire rotation, as it should be. And already starting off with a pretty close matchup. Trifecta able to hold on to a lead just for a little bit, but now it's going to be all 4-4 knotted up here. Oh my word!
Shot.
Great. Raindrops.
He
Looking
is
for another
destroying right now. Those are great shots, pushing up where he needs to be. But one thing that's scary is running Renegade Boy takes him out. That is a killing spree for Rain. He has 5 of his team's 7 kills at this moment.
Yeah, he had to watch out behind him. Saw that player kind of pop up there. He's waiting to see if anyone's going to come in for the challenge, but he is going to have some support. And those are the snipes you need to kind of get things going here. But still, though, we'll be tied up. You can go on a crazy run. You can get some crazy kills. But at the end of the day, Splyce always managed to find a way to keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just got to be a little frustrating here, though. Things must not be clicking on all cylinders for this Trifecta roster. You have someone going off like that. When you have a player who's like 5-0 at the start of the game, taking out the opposing sniper, and you're still down at the beginning, you just gotta wonder what's gonna happen when that fire starts to burn out, when those flames start to smolder.
Just gotta keep that energy going. Right now, though, it is gonna still continue to be a very close matchup as the trade comes through, and I am very impressed with Trifecta for keeping this matchup as hotly contested as it has been thus far. In Coliseum, it was the same thing. You had a cat go for Trifecta, Splyce managed to answer back, and that was kind of the tone of that matchup, and that tone has carried on to Slayer, Walshy.
Yes, it has, and it's very surprising because we really counted Trifecta out of this one. Let's be frank. We were just like, hey, it's gonna be a 3-0. We already had Trifecta lose their previous 2 games, their 2 matches. It's going to just be over. And it's like, you wouldn't expect them to be a 1 cap difference on this first game. You wouldn't expect them to be tied in slays or even leading at the very beginning of the Slayer match. So right now it's looking strong and very good for Trifecta, but at the same time too, we've seen plenty of Slayers in the past where a team, they're close up until around the 20 or 30 mark, and then the other team just kind of catches their groove. Those top spots just know how to clutch it out.
What was very weird about that one was that they had rank control, pinned Splyce back into the base, into the blue side here, and yet they still managed to lose that with the Rockets. What did they do wrong there, Walshy?
That one was a bit surprising to me. I would have to actually go back and reevaluate that one and see a couple more viewpoints, because just seeing that from Rhino's perspective for a second, I couldn't see the exact mistake he made. I actually was looking over at the Prowler for just a moment, but regardless, I don't know what went wrong in that.
But like traditionally, you have power weapons in that situation. That should be an easy opportunity for you to be able to go up maybe by 4 kills the whole round.
In theory and on paper, you have the superior positioning, you have a weapon, things are going to go your way. But there's a lot of little wrenches that can be thrown in that formula. You have these players on Splyce who at any moment just have such great movement, can move across the map, acquire 1 kill, and then it just has that snowball effect. As soon as someone isn't watching an angle, they turn away from ring. Someone jumps into ring, fight after fight happens, and before you know it, you have 3 or 4 of your teammates down.
And you mentioned it before at the start of the matchup, you had Rain who was just popping off, taking faces left and right, and they weren't able to really bring that to a substantial lead. Meanwhile, Splyce, they have that 4-kill lead, they have that round of slaves. Now it's going to be a really difficult run here for Trifecta. Try and come back into this game. You're going to look for Ryan to be that guy, and they have ring control. Another pickup for the Rockets. That should be a good opportunity for them to get back in this game.
Yeah, Ryan Noob says, sorry, Shooter, you're going down with them as he takes him out with a rocket there on that side. Now, the way you do want to play out rockets here on Refuge, in Slayer at least, is just hold down that ring. Make them have to make a good play to take you out. As long as you keep them away from ring 3, you're pretty damn safe. So you just want to sit back there, stay alive in ring, and let them jump up into either the jump up spot, either come through street, or come in through bomb center.
Well, Trifecta were down by quite a bit, and now they're right back in it. They have a 2-3 kill lead here, maybe even a 4-kill lead. Oh, he wasn't able to make it happen, but still, they're maintaining a 3-kill lead with Sniper as well. They simply just need to continue to keep this pace going. This is going to be very, very intense here. But you know what, though? Now that Splyce is currently down by 2 kills presently, or 3 now, let's actually go over to Splyce and listen in with an Astro listen in with the Halo World Champions.
In ring weak. I think last guy ring 3, go on the bomb.
Yeah, he's weak, kill this guy.
Orange spawns, in the rocks. Red rock, I'm going turret ramp. It's 2 shots, one push that kid.
No.
We have,
You're by yourself, John.
yeah.
One shot ring 2, one shot ring 2.
Ring 3,
The one on me, red P-Street.
Yeah, one shot ring 1. Got him. And then on John. Bonnie blue rocks. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, red, blue
In your HUD.
Oh my, yeah, they're here. Probably that.
There, no, listen. What's up, guys?
Rock ramp.
Yeah, I'm behind him, look flag.
Yo, watch out, blue shotty court. He's one out. Blue jump up, or I mean, red jump up.
I heard that. Good call, yeah.
Yo, red bond, blue, main ramp.
Hey, kill me. He's one bullet on the blob. Going up you guys main ramp right now, Braden. On the nades. And then the guys in the hut.
In the hut.
There's 7 red P street to P2. Or ring 2.
In the hut.
He's ring 3, and then they have rockets right now. Come on, bottom, red.
Got that guy jump.
Red car, one shot.
Shut up.
Yo, Ami, jump up. Last 2 red jump up, they have rocks.
Ring 1 side.
Nice, ring 1 last guy, he was in ring with snipe somewhere.
Yeah, in ring.
Go on your street.
You had Trifecta with the lead, but just like that, the champs come back. Typical John Cena. The champs are here. And they went for it. But
You don't see it when it's coming either.
That's
So,
right.
yeah. You
There
don't
you
see
go.
it.
There you go.
But yeah, there's always just like this seeming recurrence with these top teams. They get down around like the 30 mark, or they tie the game around 30 mark, and then at some point they just sort of pull away. And I don't really foresee Splyce throwing away a 6-kill lead when they just need 1 left. And there it is. Renegade getting that last final snipe kill to close that one out, 50-43.
Another close game there, though. Trifecta keeping this matchup within arm's reach. Still, though, so close, yet so far away. The Halo World Champions managed to overcome, and now they're up 2-0. This is kind of shaping up to be a close series, but it's shocking how the series has played out. It hasn't been an absolute butt-whooping like we were expecting. We expected Splyce to come in here, hold Trifecta by their legs, and smack the booty as if they were a newborn child from the mother's womb. But instead, what we're getting here is a competitive matchup that I think a lot of us are pleasantly surprised with.
Yeah, incredibly pleasantly surprised. I think one thing we need to start doing the analyst desk here is when we have resounding 3-0s called out, we have to just start seeing some score lines. Are we talking that these are going to be like 3-0 flag games?
Yeah.
Or are they going to be close, like 3-2 flag games? And I think if you had asked Clutch and Elamite before that happened, they would probably be like, yeah, it's probably going to be like 3-0 or 3-1 on flag, 50-35 on Slayer. And it's been quite the opposite story. And I don't know whether to attribute that to Trifecta playing extremely well and just bouncing back from a couple of losses passes earlier,
or
Splyce playing poorly, which I don't know which one it is. I mean,
I think what you're saying now, Dave, is that you want Clutch and Elamite to do their jobs.
Yes, I would
that's what you're
prefer
saying.
that.
I would like that too. I would like for Clutch to do his job. So instead of being so mean to me, because I've been so kind to him ever since he came into the talent rotation. So yes, I think that would be ideal.
Yes, I would prefer the analysts do their job, and we'll stick to our job.
But Lottie's crushing a game, so
yes,
it's all good.
Lottie, we're cool. Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, Lottie, you're good. Clutch and Elamite, you're not good. All right, moving forward though. Jokes aside though, now we're going right into game number 3. Strongholds on Plaza. And this is now where I kind of feel like this can be where Splyce turns up the heat.
A good angle there from Shooter at the start of this match. He's always known for his positioning and how well he helps his teammates out, but that's just one of the small things. I haven't seen players do that start yet here on Plaza. And look at that, he's able to catch off world champion Stellar at the start, killing that player at glass. Using that player at glass is so safe. There's like, all right, I can stand above loop here, I can challenge over towards snipe or towards power up and top center, and just stay alive in that spot. But he has 5 perfect shots, and Stellar had no idea where it was coming from.
Very, very close there for Musa, who needs to just try and get this kill here, and he was not able to do so. Bottom mid, you still have 2 members of Splyce there, but Eco manages to pick up 2. Still, though, they're holding it down as long as they possibly can to bring this game back into this one.
And reinforcements coming in there too for Splyce. At first I was like, wow, I can't believe Renegade's still committing towards this bomb center stronghold. Yet the lack of practice that these guys have does not show in their gameplay, and they're trusting each other, because clearly that's a very well-oiled machine move, where it's just like, all right, I know to stay in bomb center, I know to challenge it because I'm going to get help coming from driveway any moment now.
It's just the comfort levels on this map are definitely a lot more than, say, you know, what you would have on Refuge Slayer, right? I think this team knows exactly how they just want to play this one out. But also, bear in mind that because of how much is available to watch of Splyce's performance at the Halo World Championships, you can actually dissect how this team likes to play this map out. And there's also not a lot of wiggle room as well. But I think you're looking at this situation where Splyce are starting to get into a groove now, and you put the Trifecta squad into a trip cap situation. Now they just have to react.
Yeah, Trifecta's in trouble now. I mean, we talked about the first couple games being close and things going well there for Trifecta, but it's about time to take them out back. Yeah. It's time to they're going off to the farm.
Is this Old Yeller?
Farm, yeah. It's
think about the kids, Dave. It's a PG broadcast. Think about the children. Okay. we get it. You're like 60. You watch Old Yeller 30 times.
It's such a great movie.
It really is. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's tear to my eye like that movie.
But you know what though? Despite the trick cap, they were able to hold it off and get back into this one. You know, try and stop something, right? Try and stop that trip cap from happening, I should say. And now temporarily, I was just trying to give some credit here to Trifecta, at least trying to react. But the best chance that Trifecta had was winning that Refuge Slayer game, taking it to Fisher Oddball, and forcing that game 5. They needed that Refuge. They needed a win, whether it was game 1 or game 2, because this is what you expect from Splyce on a map like Plaza in a game type like Strongholds.
Yeah, but we do have to give Trifecta a lot of credit there, especially on, well, this series has been great thus far, but especially game number 1.
Oh, for sure.
Like, Coliseum CTF it's no easy feat to get a capture on the squad, so that's a testament to their objective prowess, and I really do give a lot of credit to the likes of like Ryan Noob and Shooter. Like Ryan Noob got a couple of kills that snipe on Coliseum, and Shooter ran that first flag, and that was just instantly after a couple of kills happened. So just great positioning, collapsing from that squad.
Look at the support
they do have great moments.
The support, Dave, that they're giving one another is insane. You had Shotzzy, Snipe 4, just looking around, poking, putting shots down wherever he needs to put the shots, getting those call-outs. It's very calm, especially when we went into the Astro Listen, and that was my major takeaway. It's always calm, cool, and collected when they are playing. They're never hectic, they're never stressed out. You don't hear that in the communications, and that is honestly the thing that makes them so scary. And as they get another trip cap and continue to maintain this trip cap, it's looking like, Walsh, you're right. They're going to have to take Old Yeller out to pass.
Yeah, it's over here for this squad. But you're right about that clear and concise communication. These players, they have no doubt. You don't have all these panic calls like, wait, where's this person at? You just hear him calmly saying, "Get over and snipe." Oh, he's going up main ramp or towards grenades. So they do have not only just those clear call-outs, but also the locations that they're calling out are very specific spots. They're not just saying, bottom middle, they're saying near truck, near Prius. Like, they will be calling out those absolute specific spots so the teammates know exactly where to be looking as they round the corner.
Business as usual for the champs. As they lock it up 3-0 against Trifecta. Trifecta will go winless in group stages. But still, though, admirable matchup, especially in games 1 and 2 from Trifecta and how they played that one out. Taking a look, though, as well, I mean, it was, what, 42-32 in the Slays? Not that crazy.
No, not that crazy, but it ended up being a lot of the trades that were going on. So to break this down for a moment, in Strongholds, when you have control, if you're just trading Slays, you're still getting points on the board. That's really not true of any other objective game for the most part. Like, you can't really do the exact same sort of thing in Flag and just assume that you're going to go ahead and objective. So they did a really good job. Just every time they got control of Strongholds, they'd go make sure they challenge that third one, get the trip cap, or go back and challenge their own. And yeah, towards the end, they were just trading in Slays, but just racking up the points.
Yeah, with the trip cap trading in Slays, it's a wrap. That's basically the story of that one. And Splyce, so continue to look good, but not as good as we were expecting of the Halo World Champions coming into New Orleans. I think now, you know, the players, I wouldn't necessarily say that they've figured it out or figured out Splyce. I just think that at this point in time, you see a roster that is kind of like just trying to figure out how they want to play in this tournament, right? I mean, that's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like we saw them catch their full stride. I think that third game, we were just like, all right, that's an absolutely dominating scoreline. You see something like 100-6 or whatever it happened to be. It's just, all right, that's a completely one-sided affair. But those other first couple games, especially with the team that took last in their pool or in their group play, that's not the scorelines you want to be posting up if you want to set fear into other teams.
That's right, but that's going to do it for us here. We know you want to hear what the analysts have to say. Lottie, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and a lovely welcome to Onset joining us on the desk once again. Well, what a game. I mean, you guys said it before. That was exactly what was going to happen, and you read it right once again because you guys are psychic, clearly. Splyce are looking really good. That last game, they left nothing in the tank. They gave it everything they got, and it was quite upsetting for Trifecta.
Yeah, it's difficult for them. You know, a lot of talk coming into the event, you know, have Splyce practice, you know, how are they going to perform at this event? I've got to the point now where I think it's almost irrelevant how much Splyce practice. You've got to remember these guys have been playing this game for 2 years now, and the way they're performing, maybe they don't need to practice. Maybe this is the new meta of Halo. Get really good, stay really good. It's just so difficult to kind of go against how they're performing and how they're preparing because they're still winning series convincingly.
I don't know. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say I'm doubting Splyce at this tournament. I still think they're our favorite to win this tournament. But those games were a lot closer than I think anybody thought that they were going to be. Those first 2 games could have gone either way. Of course, Splyce clutched up in both of them, and the series ended up being a 3-0 like we all predicted. But we didn't predict the series to be that close. That says a lot more about Splyce than it does about the other team. I mean, like, Splyce, you got to start playing better because if you go up against the Renegades and you're playing like this, you're going to lose.
I mean, someone's got to lose. There's always going to be a winner and a loser. Well, let's take a look at map number 1. It was Coliseum Captured the Flag, one of my favorite maps on Halo. Onset, looking at this, did you expect this result?
I think I always expected Splyce to win. Maybe not in the way that they did. I think Wes is right in the fact that there was some sloppiness, but as the tournament goes on, I think that'll disappear a little bit more. But again, you're playing against a team that are very objectively efficient in Trifecta, and it's not a surprise to see them get those caps on the board.
And they brought this up while the match was going on, you know, in the booth. This was 5 flag captures in just over 4 minutes. So this is about as fast of a paced game and as much objective play that you can actually have. You can't have more than 5 flag captures. So the fact that we had that many in a 4-minute game, it signifies generally a 3-0 victory when you see something like that, not a 3-2 nail-biter.
I feel like that is what Splyce do best. They are so fast-paced, and I think a lot of teams struggle to keep up with them. Well, talking about keeping up, let's move on to map number 2. It was Slayer on Refuge, and a double snipe map is always a dangerous one, Clutch.
Right, in the start of this game, we see Rain doing what Rain does. He's such a skilled sniper, so underrated of a player as far as individual skill, and especially with the sniper in this game. But then we see Splyce kind of get control of both the next snipes that spawn, and they just take over the game for a little bit. Then we see Ryan get control of Rockets right here. He starts making plays. They start climbing back, and actually, Trifecta does a great job of weathering the storm that Splyce threw at them. But Splyce, it gets to about a 42-42, and Splyce says, no, we're not losing games. We're trying to get this series over with, and they finish it up.
The odd thing about Splyce is it really seems that they perform just good enough to win. So no matter who they're playing, they're ending up dropping games to these super low-seeded teams, but then they are still playing good enough to come out and get that victory where they'll, oh, we're losing, or we're getting towards the end, and this one's close. Let's turn it on and close it out. Just, really uncharacteristic for a lot of the top teams because you see them bring it 100% the entire match. I just don't think that's how Splyce really plays. They play just barely enough. It kind of speaks to their same kind of practice schedule. It's just barely enough to make sure they stay at the top. Just crazy to think that you can do just barely enough but still be victorious.
Elite map number 3, Strongholds on Plaza. Splyce absolutely dominated this.
Yeah, I mean, this one was kind of over before it started, and I think this is one of those times where you see Trifecta probably just ran out of gas. Game number 1, nail-biter. Game number 2, they fought it back, hard fought out. Very exhausting and mentally draining kind of game, and then you're heading into the Strongholds. You don't get a good start, and all of a sudden, the communication's probably not there, the confidence isn't there, and it is basically already over.
Yeah, and on top of that, they just lost 2 back-to-back series before this. They lose the first 2 games. I mean, the deck is stacked against them at this point. It's just too much to overcome, especially against the Splyce roster that's so dominant on a game type like Plaza Strongholds. Yeah. I mean, it was just too much.
Guys, we actually have a Game 5 on Charlie. It's straight ripping.